everyone. Welcome to the July market update. This is Anson. So today's market update, we're going to talk about the IINZ latest stats for June, global market outlook, the new lending rules, what everyone's talking about, and what is the impact on housing market, property market forecast in Auckland, most likely, and the mortgage rates at 25th of July. So, what's happening in June? Basically, the markets are tracking along very nicely. With last week, Auckland is falling behind, just like 2 months ago. Let's have a look at the graph here. All this red little R here means the regions have reached record price, which are Waikato Bay of Plenty, Auckland, Northland, Central Otago Lakes, and Otago. In short, 5 regions hit record prices in June, but stock levels are extremely low. We've talked about stock levels before. National medium sale price increased by 11% on June 15 and down 1% on May. Right. That's just, if you're not familiar with the map of New Zealand, that's where the thing is. Right. So moving along, let's have a look at the key numbers in Auckland, June 2016. Sales volumes, that's how many sales have been made in the previous month. The numbers are slightly down from last year, but only very slightly. And weeks to sell inventory, right? Inventory means if there's no new listings on the market, the number of weeks it takes to sell everything that's on the market. Unfortunately, at the time of writing, I wasn't able to download the inventory report from IINZ. So, but yeah, they've mentioned that Auckland stock level is under 10 weeks. So I just took it as 10 weeks, which is a scary number. Not as bad as Wellington though. Wellington was looking at under 7 weeks or something. Median price, yeah. Record level once again. Auckland house prices medium is 821,000, up to 8.7% from last year. Days on market, that's slightly gone up by 1 day. Let's look at North Shore numbers. The numbers were down quite a lot from 12 months ago, down 12%. Median price has gone up by 13.6%, and we are now at $1,068,500. Days on market, 31 days, 1 day above what we had 12 months ago, but still relatively quick. Right, so global uncertainties, of course, we had to look at what's happening in the world because we're just this tiny little thing on the big map. North America, right, okay. You be the judge. South America, we're looking at actually the map is a bit wrong, isn't it? But anyway, Rio Olympic happening, but not many people talking about it for some reason, except for Australian teams have refused to stay in the village, but let's move on. In the UK, well, we all know Brexit, and Theresa May will be the new Prime Minister of the UK. Congratulations to her. And unfortunately, Nice in France has just had that, what can we call it, massacre, but unfortunate events happening all over Europe. In Asia, right, China is struggling, dealing with the South China Sea dispute. That is a long-range bomber that rumored that China has sent the bomber patrolling the region. So it's a bit you don't want to be there. Australia, our brother country, sister country, is looking nicely in transition from mining to other labor-intensive market, which is good. The only thing that hasn't changed much in the world is probably here. It is still cold. Right. So what about New Zealand housing market? Okay, let's have a look. Reserve Bank last week has announced this new policy that 40%, 40%, 40% LVR. That in simple terms, you need to come up with 40% deposit if you are an investor. Oh yes, and that is not Auckland region. Now it applies nationwide. So obviously the aim is to stop or try to control the housing market in Auckland and more likely outside of Auckland in places like Waikato, Bay of Plenty, and Queenstown areas. So let's just have a look at the possible impacts and what you may have missed out. So if you apply for new mortgage for your investment property, the banks are already processing it under the new LVR rules. So even though we're not quite 1st of September yet, it is still enforced. As I said, it's aimed to slow down pressure on housing supplies, not only in Auckland, also in the national level. If you're a first-home buyer or buying on an occupied home, then nothing changes. It has nothing to do with you, the new policy. Existing loan approvals are likely to be unaffected until your 6 months 6 months approved period runs out. But some banks and brokers are saying if you don't use it by 1st of September, then you lose it basically. That gone pretty quick there. What was the last point? Right. So policy applies to registered banks only. So there are other non-registered bank lenders available, bypassing the rule to make up for the differences in percentages. I won't go into detail in this one, but I will cover this up in my next video, which you guys will understand why I'm talking about this. Anyway, moving on. Will the housing market cool? Right. It's always $1 million question. So this is my pick. Before 1st of September this year, one side you have buying frenzy. Panic buyers trying to buy, and on the other side there are buyers who are gonna save up all their cash and wait until 1st of September, hoping for market to be corrected so they could snap up a bargain. Right. Okay. Let's have a look what happened last year in October, where they applied for 30% LVR, what it has done to Auckland housing market. Okay, this is very interesting graph. I found it very interesting. So this is the medium sales in Auckland from May 2015 to May 2016. Actually, it's got June 2016, but let's not look at that. Okay, so here in September 2015, where we have hit the peak price in the year, $771,000. As you can see, that is the panic buying period. October 2015, the median price is $740, and suddenly it just went up by $30,000 in a month. And when the 30% LVR applies, boom, the price dropped to $748, right? Because everybody was unsure what's happening in the market. Moving along the months, November, December, and you have Christmas and the New Year period where nothing really happens. And February, slowly the market is recovering until it finally hit the next peak at March 2016, where we exceeded the previous peak in 2015, 771,000 to 820. Okay. So what it tells us is that it took 6 months for the market to recover last year with the previous LVR. Will the history repeat? Maybe. Looks likely, because it's similar policy. Well, it's only a 10% differences in Auckland market, but things will be quite different outside of Auckland. But yeah, it's not gonna put a complete stop in that very heated housing market unless Mr. John Key applies the real killer, and we've always talked about it for the past few months: debt to income, debt to income, debt to income. So if debt to income does come into the picture, the housing market will put a break. Will stop completely. Problem is when. When's the problem? So yeah, well, let's direct the question to the crystal ball if you got one, right? But if you do have one, can I borrow it for a day or two? Just lotto result. That's yeah. All joking aside, though, we all know
winter is coming. This one will be long, and dark things will come.
Sorry, I just can't help it. But yeah, until the DTI applies, I don't think the market will crash. Yeah, and it's not likely to happen. Maybe by the end of the year, but we'll see. We'll see. I don't have a crystal ball, so we'll see. Yeah. Lastly, let's have a look at the retail mortgage rates from the major banks as at 21st of July. You could pause this. You could pause this picture and just have a look at it. That is it. So thank you very much for watching. If you like my videos, please subscribe to my channel, and I hope to bring you more interesting videos next time. Until then, see ya.